in our final semifinal matchup of the evening. The winner will move on to Championship Sunday tomorrow at 3 p.m. At this time, we'd like to welcome a very special fan and member of the Five Towns family, Miss Mary Peck, who will sing our national anthem. We ask that you kindly rise as we honor America and welcome Miss Peck with a nice round of applause.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glow, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Mary Peck. Before we meet our starting lineups, we'd like to take a moment to recognize the members of the all-conference team from Five Towns College and Villa Marie for their outstanding play throughout the regular season as selected by the coaches in the conference. When I announce the names of these student athletes, please give them a round of applause. Representing Five Towns College, freshman guard Tyler Bond and senior guard Giovanni Merritt, congratulations. And from Villa Maria, senior guard Rudy Brad and junior forward Master Rayford and senior guard Jeremiah Williams. Congratulations to the members of the 2022-2023 all-conference team from Five Towns and Villa Maria. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Five Town College Sound. The head coach is Greg Giselle. The assistant coaches are Skip Park and Roy Jimenez. Starting for the Sound. At the forward position, a sophomore standing 6'3" from Orange Park, Florida, number 24, Paul Alley. At the guard position, a freshman standing 6 feet tall,
All right, the main event of the evening is underway as another HVIAC championship semifinal between the 3-seed Five-Town Sound and the 2-seed Villa Maria Vikings. Winner to take on the Berkeley College Knights in the championship game. The stage is set. Now it's just time to hoop.
This is going to be exciting.
Very. The atmosphere here is amazing. As Villa Maria wins the tip. And Rudy Bragg with the ball at the top of the key. Over to Jalen Green, who swings it to Nolan Shepard, who shoots the mid-range shot, contested with 3 people. That's Tyler Bond leading the charge to start off the Five Towns offense. Over to the corner to Paul Allen. Swings it to the top of the key by Jagelski, who cuts in over Merritt, the man of the hour. It's up and it's off. Fight for the rebound. It's being hassled away. The jump ball. Still Five Towns ball.
You can already tell by the one possession that each team has had, this is going to be a hard game for both teams.
The intensity has already been picked up right off the jump. That's what you love to see as a basketball fan and as a coach. As Damani Merritt. Crossing half court, Tyler Bond. Tyler Bond to Jagelski. You nicknamed him the Polish Prince, Sydney.
Yeah, I definitely did that last year, and it's just kind of stuck.
Yep. As Tyler Bond goes into it, shoots it up, and it's good! Great start for Five Towns.
Yeah, that is a shot that Tyler Bond rarely misses. He really likes that foul line jumper, and if he can get open, it's going to be a great game for him today.
Yep. As Rudy Break, back and forth with Jaden Green. In the corner, it's off. How's DeMario James, who missed that? That's Tyler Bond, once again, leading the charge. Jagelski. Paul Allen, back to Bond. Over to Jagelski. Jagelski looking to pass, passes it over to Tyler Bond, who makes his move, cuts into the paint, but throws it to Damani Merritt, who couldn't quite get the dribble, and it's turned over. Back to Rudy Brigg. Back to Jaden Green, who misses. It's Damani Merritt. Tyler Bond. Over to Paul Allen, who cuts into the paint. Throws over to Tyler Bond, who was open for a second. As Paul Allen couldn't quite get past his man. He's at the top of the key. Over to Damani Merritt. He recently hit 1,000 points.
That's such an amazing milestone for him, especially only doing it in 3 years here at Five Towns.
Shot clock down to 3. Damani Merritt has to get swatted away. He has to launch it up, and he doesn't. Shot clock violation.
Shot clock violation.
Yeah, coach doesn't seem to like how that possession ended.
Yep, not a big fan of that. As Rudy Brigg with the ball. Back all the way over to Teron Benson. Back to Rudy Brigg, who lobs it up over, and it's good. Bucket by Jaden Green.
Yeah, that's something that the Vikings did last week when these two teams matched up against each other. They just kind of got behind that zone defense that the Sound play and got those lobs for easy layups.
And up until that bucket, there was just intense defense going on both ends. Damani Merritt looking to get going here. As Jagelski with the offensive foul.
That's an interesting call.
Yeah, it really is.
That's his first. It's the team's first.
All right, as he picks up his first foul. Still 2-2, 17:05 remaining. As Rudy Bragg, again, looking to bring the ball up. Over to Jaden Green, back to Bragg. They're just starting it off slow here. This championship semifinal game. Right? As Jaden Green just over 2 people floats it up and in. And Tyler Bond to set up the charger. And Jagelski almost turned it over, but he doesn't. Full court pressure by the Vikings. as Tyler Bond just goes his way down the middle. It avoids the charge against the floater that goes in.
Once again, I feel as though Tyler Bond is going to be a very key contribution to this Sound team today. If he can get his open shots and hit them, he is going to be a difference maker today.
That was fantastic player awareness there by Tyler Bond, avoiding the charge that the Vikings were trying to get. As Tyler Bond slings it over to Robert Williams. Robert Williams throws it up, and it's off. And Villa Maria again, Tyler Bond running down, trying to stop Jaden Green, and he slaps the ball.
Great defensive play by Tyler Bond. I definitely thought he got it to hit the leg of Jaden Green, but I guess the refs see otherwise, so.
It definitely seems so, as Ian Williams is quickly substituted in for Robert Williams. Quick substitutions here by Coach Greg Giselle.
Interesting substitution by Coach Greg, because as you can see, the Vikings are a lot bigger than the Sound, so putting Ian Williams in might be a little bit of a deficit, but I've said it once and I've said it before. Ian Williams is one of the toughest players that I've seen play, and he will go head-to-head against anybody, whether they're around his height or a foot taller than him.
He is a bench player that plays like a starter. And, you know, Coach Greg Giselle might be going for a bit of a small ball lineup here. He knows that they're big, but he knows that Ian Williams has to be faster than all of them.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to get that driving presence into the paint to see if they can get defenders to draw in and kick it out.
All right, as Paul Allen over to Jagelski. Jagelski to Bond. Bond makes his move to the right, cuts towards baseline. He fakes it up and in. Tyler Bond has been the man that Five Towns needs for this game.
There's 6 points for Five Towns. Tyler Bond has all 6 points.
As Rudy Bragg trying to answer back. Rudy Bragg. Sends it over to Mario James. Back to Bragg. Bragg getting hassled by Williams. Williams with the double team. And back to Bragg. As there goes James, who's up, and it's off. Here comes Tyler Bond, who's been leading the charge so far offensively. Throws it over to Jagelski. Jagelski makes his move, cuts baseline, and throws a turnover right to Bragg. As Bragg bounce packs to Jaden Green, and it's off.
That was good defensive presence by Paul Allen, just to stand there straight up, not let...
And an and one opportunity for the Vikings. That was good effort by the Sound, but couldn't quite get the rebound, allowing the Vikings to get second chance opportunities. Now, other than Bond, Sydney, who do you think has to step up in this game?
Obviously, we have Damani Merritt. He is one of the more key contributions to this team, scores 20-some a game. He definitely is a presence in the mid-range game. He's got to be one that you have to look out for.
Yep. As in 22, Nolan Shepard converts the three-point play. And Paul Allen is at the inbound, wearing the bright green shoes.
I swear, anytime you see Paul Allen, he has a different pair of shoes.
It stands out. It's as Ian Williams also has a pretty bright pink shoes as well. And Robert Williams with the blue shoes. It's almost like a little Power Ranger combo here. As Tyler Bond, it's up and off. Also with pink shoes. As Villa Marie looking to get back, it's Mario James off the screen. Gets double teamed by Ian and Tyler Bond. And there goes Bragg. All the way down to James. Back to Bragg. A lot of smothering defense going on. For every man, it seems there's just a rotating double team when it comes to Five Towns defense.
That is a call that I really like from Coach Greg. Oh, that is a good take by Ian, but as I was saying, I like the call by Coach Greg to have that swarming defense, not let the Vikings get comfortable where they are in their half-court sets and make them take contested jump shots.
And Sydney, we talked about this earlier, but like we said, Ian Williams with the steal. His speed and his agility, it's just too much for Villamarillo to handle right now. He gets the steal, couldn't quite convert it there, but that's what you like to see. A fast player, getting the strips, getting the steals, as Villa Marie just goes up and under and makes it good, as Master Radford gets the bucket. Scored 9-8. It's been a pretty close game so far over the first 4 minutes. As Damani Merritt, it's up. Unlucky bounce there as it rattles out. Damani Merritt having a slow start. As Paul Allen, offensive foul. Paul Allen draws the foul.
That is one thing about Paul Allen that I do like. He has a defensive presence today, and since the break of the Christmas break, he has been on a roll. He's been averaging a double-double, points and rebounds. That is something that I love to see because the Sound need glass presence.
Yep, as Ian Williams, who's been running up and down the floor a lot to start this game, turns the ball over to James as Villa Maria goes up Euro step, and it's off. Ian Williams soars for the rebound as Damani Merritt to Bond.
He stripped that thing away.
Damani Merritt makes his move into the paint, fade away, and it's off. Damani Merritt can't quite get the touch to roll. As James with the ball, guarded by Tyler Bond. Crowd screaming defense. This Five Towns crowd is ecstatic to be in this position. As Damani Merritt secures the air ball with Tyler Bond. Only one man to beat, and it's off. But Robert Williams secures the big rebound, and he can't quite finish it. Paul Allen secures the rebound. Damani Merritt over to Ian Williams, who fakes. Up to Bond, to Paul Allen, who launches a three, and it's nothing but net.
Oh my goodness, that was fantastic ball movement by the Sound. Being able to draw the defenders into the paint, kicking it out to Paul Allen, who is one of their better three-point shooters, and trying to get him on a hot streak to start this game.
Now, if you're Villa Maria here, it's got to be difficult to keep your patience, your mind going at a healthy place with this crowd being so loud.
Yeah, it's definitely tough playing in a court where your opponent does have home court advantage. Thankfully for the Sound, they have the home court advantage for the entire tournament. And look who is subbing in. We have Kyle Moppert.
Kyle Moppert, very impressive last time they played Villa Maria. As Villa Maria inbounds the ball. As Rudy Bragg goes up and in. It's Tyler Bond, who's had a great start to this game, along with Paul Allen and Ian Williams. Kyle Moppert to Bond. Bond almost loses the dribble there. Gives it to Moppert. Moppert looked to cross it over, but almost got stripped to Williams. Over to Bond. Something interesting to note, Sydney, is the best player on Five Towns, Damani Merritt, subbed out fairly quickly in terms of the first half. Ian Williams takes a hard shot to the face there.
Yeah, but Damani just hasn't found his touch yet in the game. Hopefully, sitting him down a little bit can help his jitters and maybe settle him into the game.
And Rudy Bragg, wide open three, couldn't quite hit. But thanks to the woes of people like Paul Allen, right, Tyler Bond throws it over immediately to Jariah Williams, who's running up the court, who slings the pass over to Nolan Shepard, who then loses it. And now, Five Towns, the Sound looking to make some noise as Tyler Bond cuts into the paint, throws the sling pass to Moppert. Moppert takes baseline, and he just falls. He looks like he slipped there. But Ian Williams with the steal, over to Bond, over to Moppert, who got swatted by Villa Maria, but he stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, that's tough when you're going up against the Vikings, who have a very big presence on the floor.
What's been great about the Sound so far is they've been shooting a lot of mid-range shots. People like Bond, maybe he's been hitting.
Yeah, and they're at 33.3% from the field, so hopefully they can get that up a little bit, but it's not the worst thing that could happen in the start of this game.
Yep, as the game is tied 11-11 with 10 minutes to spare. It's Tyler Bond looking to make his move, cuts over two, and he gets fouled. Shot will not count, though. Let's talk about Kyle Moppert.
Now, the reason we got so excited for Kyle Moppert to come in the game today, he, in the last matchup, only played 5 minutes, but went for three from the field and had 9 points.
Very impressive, Sydney. As James over in the corner three, it's off, but Villa Maria gets their own rebound and they put it up and in. Tied game again, 13-13. So far, Five Towns has held the lead twice and Villa Maria once. But Villa Maria looking to bounce back and hold it again. As a contested three-pointer from Villa Maria, almost gets the lucky bounce, but not quite. And it's Five Towns ball. Chris Coleman, who took that three, couldn't quite get it to fall. As Paul Allen looking to inbound over to Tyler Bond. A little bit of a full court press going on here for Villa Maria. Trying to deny, and they do. As Villa Maria takes the lead once again. And Coach Greg Giselle calls a timeout because he needs to talk it over. That was pretty horrendous inbounding.
That's going to be the 10th turnover already for the Sound, which is giving the Vikings 9 points off of turnovers already. If they get rid of those turnovers, it's an entirely different game.
Sydney, these matches, these players faced last week against each other. How did that go?
Now, the Sound did lose by 14, but by the numbers, it is very hard to see that. The field goal percentage was almost 55 for the Vikings, just over 49 for the Sound. That three-point percentage is around the same, as well as the foul shot percentage. But then we had the rebounds, 39 for the Vikings and 31 for the Sound.
Always very interesting seeing stats like that because it just shows you that sometimes stats don't really tell the entire game because those stats were very similar and Five Towns got blown out by 14 points. As Damani Merritt back into the game and throws the ball over. Five Towns in a bit of a stump right now.
Yeah,
Can't
that's
really
their
get anything
11th
going.
turnover of the half.
Yep. Can't get much going. And Rudy Bragg, they just have to pick it up. Rudy Bragg over to number 22, Nolan Shepard. Ball ends up back to Bragg. And they're going for a lob. Shepard couldn't quite hold on to it. As Paul Allen and Tyler Bond. Tyler Bond looking to run the break here. He shoots his mid-range jumper, and it's off. Made one earlier, but couldn't quite get this one to finish. Tyler Bond on Bragg. The crowd seems to have calmed down a bit here. Now Shepard, Bragg, thrown into the corner to Coleman. Coleman over to three, and Robert Williams secured the rebound, but a foul.
That's going to be a foul on Five Towns. That's going to be a foul on Eric Romero, who just subbed into this game.
Very aggressive and physical game that both teams have been playing so far. You can tell they both just want it. They're reaching for it. They can taste the championship match. As Paul
Great
Allen
defense.
That's still Villa Maria ball. It's Paul Allen.
Devontae Gwynn did not expect Paul Allen to be right behind him. He
Yeah,
just kind of ran into a brick wall.
It's always such a classic play where you turn around and just see the big guy right there. Corner for Villa Maria, and it's off.
That is a great rebound by Robert Williams, having a Viking on his back and being able to grab that with one hand.
Yeah, it's impressive how he was able to maintain his balance too. Eric Romero wide open for three, and it's off.
That's very unusual for him because Eric Romero is a sharp shooter. I see him in practice all the time, and he does not miss. So that is a very unlikely miss from him.
As Rudy Bragg looked to make it there, but couldn't quite get it to finish. And Damani Merritt had a slow start, and Five Towns needs to call a timeout and talk things over. If you were Coach Greg Giselle, what would you tell your team in order to get the spark going and take a lead here?
I mean, right now, they're only down by 2. And from the way that the past few minutes have been happening, it's a miracle that you're down by 2. Like I said before, they have 11 turnovers, but because of those turnovers, Villa Maria has 9 points off of those turnovers. If they limit those, Villa Maria doesn't get the opportunities that they have because as of right now, the Sound are doing great on the defensive end when they're in a half-court set.
Now, 15 to 13. Now, what have Villa Maria been doing?
Like I said, those turnovers, those steals go right into those fast break points, into easy baskets for them, which have given them this lead. But on the other end, Paul Allen is doing all that he can to help his team with that wide open three-point shot. He's got 5 points today out of 13. He's doing everything on the offensive end he can and the defensive end because he already has 3 rebounds as well.
The thing about Paul Allen that's just fantastic is he makes the other team guard the perimeter.
Yes.
So he gives more space to players that like to go into the paint like Tyler Bond and Damani Merritt. And it's just a great mix of players that gives you a lot of opportunities. They just need to get the shots to start falling.
Oh, definitely. Being able to hit those shots makes them come out of their zone a little bit, open up the middle for players, as you said, like Ian and Tyler, and even Robert Williams to get onto the block and get a layup.
Yep. It's Tyler Bond set to inbound, goes it to Ian Williams. Ian Williams, who had about a minute or two where he was just everywhere, gives it to Robert Williams, who tries to bully his way, and he gets an and one opportunity. Robert Williams.
Robert Williams is looking for 3 points the old-fashioned way,
Yep.
and one, looking for this foul shot attempt to be good.
Yep. And he looks calm, cool, and collected, Sydney. He's under no pressure on the big stage. First one's up, and good. Five Towns takes the lead with 7:29 remaining. As Rudy Bragg looking to answer back off the Five Towns three-point play. And number 23 off. Tyler Bond running the break. One man to beat, and it's off, and it's off. Paul Allen looks to be hacking, try to go for the ball there, got caught up on number 23, Bryant Rose's arm.
Yeah, that's a foul that you definitely don't need. Just get back on defense.
Yeah.
Because Paul Allen does get into foul trouble a little bit throughout the season, so you don't want to take those ticky-tack ones.
Yep. As Rudy Bragg, again, the man who's been controlling the ball for the most part for Villa Maria. And an offensive foul. It's going back the other way. Five Towns ball.
The Sound just have to take this opportunity to capitalize off of that, because every stop that they get on the defensive end can turn into points on the offensive end for them to get a lead into this game.
Yeah, Sydney, they just need to slow it down and get these good open looks, start knocking these shots down. Damani Merritt to Williams. Williams over to Bond. They're looking for the cut-in. As Merritt shoots up a shot, it's good!
There we go, his first two of the games. Hopefully that's gonna get him in a roll, because last game against the Vikings, he had 28 points.
Yeah, he's been a good player against Villa Maria. And maybe seeing the ball go into the basket will give him some motivation and some confidence to keep shooting more and get his groove going.
My gosh, they are
as
swarming.
the harassing defense. But Villa Maria is fouled. That's good defense. That's what you like to see out of Five Towns, though.
Nolan Shepard for the Vikings seems to be a little frustrated with that. Even though he did get the foul, he seemed like it should have been called a little earlier.
He wanted it a little bit earlier, yeah. And what's
Timeout Vikings.
Timeout Vikings. They need to talk it over.
That is a great call for the Sound, having the Vikings make them take a timeout.
Now, the Vikings, last time they went up against the Sound, they were playing very well against them, almost dominating for most part of the game. This time, they're looking at almost a different team. What are your thoughts on how Five Towns achieved that?
The Sound are just swarming them on defense. As you can see right here, they're just not letting anybody get past. There's 3 people on one person, and as long as they have their hands up, it is very hard for somebody to get a pass off against that.
Correct.
And it also seems as though in Five Towns' favor, the Vikings haven't made as many shots as they did last time, which once again goes to their favor. Hopefully for the Sound, they can keep that defense up and keep the Vikings off the board.
Yeah, you have to think the last time that Five Towns played against Villa Maria, ever since then, they knew this was going to be the matchup. So Giselle has to have been drawing up plays, looking at the tape, thinking about ways to stop this team.
Yeah.
And it seems to be working right now. As Shepard had to launch up a 3, almost got the bounce, but couldn't get it to fall.
Yeah,
but
they
number
had
12, Teron
They had a
Barron,
whole week to prepare for this game. So, you know, Coach Drizel is definitely on the drawing board, figuring out how he can get his team into the championship.
And the Vikings also lost their previous matchup against Bryan and Stratton. So coming off of a loss, maybe their groove isn't going as they'd like. And Tyler Bond was cutting to the paint. Over 2, over 3, almost over 4. As Robert Williams gets the rebound and puts it up and in.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that from the beginning of this game, the Vikings seem to have thought that they were just going to kind of steamroll over the Sound, and the Sound putting everything on the line as the Vikings go out of bounds there. The Sound are putting everything on the line that they can, because they want their seniors, Damani Merritt and Robert Williams, to get to that championship game and play another day.
Yep, that's Tyler Bond with the ball. Now, Sydney, this is a close game now, 3-point lead for the Sound, but it's almost a David versus Goliath kind of feat because the Sound lost to Villa Maria, and Villa Maria after that beat Culinary by 100 points.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about that. That's just statistics right there.
Yep.
They are a tough team to beat.
As Paul Allen, turnaround jumper, couldn't quite get it to fall, as Rudy Bragg running the break, throws it over in the corner to Brian Rose, who nails the three, tying the game.
And that is the first three-pointer of the game for the Vikings. They took 12 for it to happen.
That is the third time the game has been tied. As Five Towns just throws it over, a bit of miscommunication there with Ian Williams and Tyler Bond.
Yeah, once again, the Sound just need to limit those turnovers, and they could see themselves possibly advancing because right now it seems like the Vikings are on a cold streak.
Yep, they can't really get much to fall. The only thing they have gotten to fall is the offensive board second chance opportunities. As Rudy Bragg put to the corner, and it's off. Paul Allen looks to get the rebound, couldn't, because Shepard secured it. And back to Brad, almost a little turnover there. Slings it all the way over to number 14, Jaden Green, who launches the three, high arcing shot.
Oh my goodness, that almost hit the ceiling.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a foul on Nolan Shepard.
That was quite the arc on the shot. It almost hit the light there. Speaking of 3 points.
I mean, they've taken 12 already. They finally got it to go. Hopefully for them, that could help. Like I said, Five Towns is at a 50% three-point percentage, whereas the Vikings are only at 8.3, which is a big difference from the last time that they played.
Yeah, it looks like Villa Maria isn't settling for any shots.
That's going to be a jump ball, but it's going to stay with the Vikings.
19 seconds left on the shot clock. The score is 20-20 with 3:34 remaining. This game has had a lot of defense.
Yeah, this is, like I said before, it's going to be an aggressive game.
As Shepard over to number 12. So on, back to Bragg. Bragg shoots it over, and it's off. Couldn't quite get the roll. It seems like a lot of these Villa Maria shots just depend on that roll that isn't falling.
Yeah, definitely.
That's Tyler Bond screaming at the play. Over to Ian Williams. Williams to Damani Merritt. Merritt cuts in, over to Williams. And they're slowing down the tempo here. Tyler Bond to Paul Allen. Paul Allen fakes, dribbles, back to Williams. Williams tries to cut in. He got snatched, but a foul.
And that's going to be an offensive foul on Ian Williams.
Yeah, well, there really wasn't much opening there. The defense from Villa Maria was just all over the place.
And the shot clock was winding down. There wasn't much. Here we go. Kyle Mopper's back into the game for Ian Williams because he does have 2 fouls.
Now 20-20 right now. There have been a lot of numbers, a lot going on. What have you seen out of this Sound team the first 10 minutes?
I mean, they are playing much better defense than they did last game. Last game, it kind of just felt like they could take possessions off and think that they could get away with it, and then they had cold streaks, so taking off those possessions definitely did not help the Sound, but this time they are taking every possession like it is the last on defense. Offense, not so much, but if you are a player, offense is where you need to take your breaks. You cannot take the breaks on defense.
What about Villa Maria? Villa Maria were dominating in the last game. In this game, they seem to be struggling a bit more. You know, why is that?
I mean, turnover-wise, Villa Maria is definitely less than the Sound. The Sound have 13 turnovers while the Vikings have 8. It's an entirely different game with the turnovers because, like I said, the Vikings have 9 points off of turnovers. The Sound have 6. If you limit turnovers for either team, those points don't happen, and the game isn't tied.
What that stat shows about the Sound is they're getting back on defense because to have 5 more turnovers, but only 3 less points, very impressive.
Yeah, especially since the last showing. I very much like how the Sound is playing right now with the swarming defense and just being able to play another day.
Yep. As Rudy Bragg swings it to the corner to Jaden Green. Over to Shepard, who's trying to bully his way into the paint, but can't get it. As break, over to Shepard. Shepard just gets pounded in the paint. and he gets fouled. Shepard looking to shoot 2 more.
That's going to be on Damani Merritt. That is his second foul of the game. He has to be careful. There is 2:45 left in this half, so he needs to be careful. He does not want to get that third one.
Damani Merritt, the man of the hour, committing the foul.
Like I said, they have to be careful on those fouls. I mean, Damani just slammed him.
As he nails both free throws. And Tyler Bond getting hassled over to Damani Merritt. The full court press seems to do wonders for this HVIAC conference.
That is a 10-second violation. That full court press from the Vikings is so hard to get by, especially because of, once again, how big they are. Their arms are very long. It is very hard to get past them.
Yeah, 5 Towns needs to look for the open man with all the doubling that's going on. But it's a little hard with such lengthy arms blocking your vision. Can't quite see. The open man's gonna come up and attract the ball to him.
Ian Williams checks back in for Damani Merritt. But once again, he also has to be careful because he has 2 fouls.
Yep. As Villa Maria scores that bucket fairly easy, Master Radford goes to pick up the lob. 24-20 is now the score. Ian Williams over to Paul Allen. Launches it to Tyler Bond, who throws up the floater but gets just halted mid-traffic. As Rudy Bragg does a little move, goes back, throws it over to number 4, Jariah Williams. Over to Jaden Grieg, back to Williams. And that's going to be a backcourt violation.
Great defense by the Sound. I mean, other than that last possession, because it seemed to have a little lapse there. They just lost Master Radford, and he got an easy bucket, but that was a great way to make it up.
Yep, that's Tyler Bond sent to inbound the ball. Ian Williams, throw it in the back over there, but Robert Williams gets the ball. Over to Ian, as Kyle Moppert is open in the corner. And they switch around. Being guarded by Jaden Green, back to Paul Allen. Allen makes his move, cuts by 1. Fade away from Paul Allen, couldn't quite get it to go. Number 4, Jariah Williams. And number 14, Jaden Green. Swings it over back to Bragg. Bragg guarded by Bond. Bond caught into the screen as Jaden Green by Moppert. Bit of contact there. And Bragg swings it to the corner, and it's up, and it's good. He nails the 3. Shepard, who seems like he's just been all over the place this game.
Yeah, Shepard is the Vikings' leading scorer right now with 10 out of their 27.
As Ian Williams looks to draw some contact there, but gets his own rebound and puts it up and in. 27-22. That's a great answer by Ian Williams.
Yeah, the Sound have to keep this game as close as possible because the Vikings can just go off on a rampage at any point.
With 50 seconds remaining, 27-22. Shepard with a step back, and it's off. Paul Allen couldn't secure the rebound. From our angle, it seemed like Villa Maria touched that last.
It definitely looked like it went off of Jariah Williams, but once again, it's the ref's call.
Difficult being a ref. I could never do it. But Bragg over to Green. Green step back over to Bragg, who's open. Throws it into the corner for Shepard. Shepard swings it back to Bragg. Green, who lays it up and in. 29-22, 30 seconds remaining. Ian Williams looking to turn on the Jets here as Kyle Moppert double teamed over to Ian Williams, who has an open paint, and then he gets clobbered. And no foul. 15 seconds remaining as Rudy Bragg, again, top of the key. Over to Jaden Green. Back to Shepard. Shepard to Bragg. They tried to throw up the lob, but it gets intercepted by 5 Towns. And with .7 remaining, 5 Towns is going to get the ball.
Yeah, they've done that play 3 times already. The Sound quickly catching on, They are catching on, so they're not going to let that happen again.
They're going to hold it. Tyler Bond doesn't want to make his shooting percentage any worse. As the first half finishes, and 5 Towns is down 29-22. Now, a lot of people on the 5 Towns team has been putting in that effort. You can see Paul Allen and Tyler Bond Who else needs to step up for this team?
I said it already again. I mean, Damani has to start putting the ball into the basket, but another one that I want to point out is Ian Williams. He is driving into the paint. He is getting stopped, so there's got to be some way that he can get the ball into the basket, but Ian Williams and Damani Mayer are going to have to be my two that need to step up.
What about from the other end? Villa Maria. Who on Villa Maria has been making it difficult for the Sound and canceling them out?
I mean, Nolan Shepard has been going off. He has 10 points already out of 29. He's one that you got to look out for. Another one from the previous matchup, DeMario James had 22 points out of 43 points out of their bench presence last week. So far, he hasn't done much, but you can't count him out yet. I feel like he's going to show something in the second half.
Now, looking at the bench.
Like I said, Villa Maria had 43 bench points. Five Towns had 32. The difference was 14 in that game. This is a difference of 11. So there's some of that difference makers from last game. As I said, DeMario James had 22, and then it brings back Ian Williams, who had 10 last game.
Now, defensively, what does Five Towns have to do to cancel out the noise that Villa Maria is currently making?
I mean, right now, they're doing as much as they can. The Vikings are missing shots that they did make last week, so there's not much else. So they honestly, they just have to limit the turnovers. I don't think it's anything defensive-wise. It's just limiting turnovers.
And what about Villa Maria? What about Nolan Shepard? What has he done?
You know, he's got 10 points, like I said. He has 4 rebounds. He's going 3 for 6 from the field and 100% from the line, 3 for 3.
And on the other end, let's look at Five Towns. Let's look at Robert Williams. What has he done this game?
Yeah, he is the leading scorer today for Five Towns. He's got 7 out of 22 points. He has 5 rebounds. He's 3 for 5 from the field. And once again, he is also 100% from the line.
Very important for this Five Towns team to get all these people going. But we're going to throw it down to Jeff Kramer, our third member of the team, for his interview.
So, Dr. Cohen, what does it mean to you as the president of Five Towns College and for the college in general to host the HVIAC tournament here at FTC?
It's really always a thrilling event. We've got great student athletes. We have a great athletic program that's growing. You know, I love to see the students having the opportunity to compete, to lead, to show their talents and skills. Win or lose, you know what? It's always exciting, and I'm thrilled.
And where do you see the future of the athletic program going here at FTC?
Well, we're growing, so, you know, we're adding lacrosse next year. Next year we'll start men and women's lacrosse. We've added basketball and soccer and cross country. You know, for a little school, we're an athletic powerhouse on Long Island. We're doing great. It's just great opportunities for our students. So I see us going in the same direction: quality, excellence, and opportunity.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dr. Cohen. And back to you guys.
Thanks, Jeff. It's always great to see David Cohen supporting the Five Towns team here. Now, coming up, the second half of this HVIAC championship semifinal between the home team, Five Towns, and the away team, Villa Maria. We'll be back soon. And we're back to start the second half of this HVIAC Championship semifinal between the Five-Town Sound and the Villa Maria Vikings. Something interesting to point out right away, Sydney, is throughout the entire halftime break, Five Towns the Sound went into the locker room for a bit, came back and immediately started practicing, and Villa Maria didn't practice at all.
Yeah, that's one thing that you see with teams who are very athletic. They feel as though they need to get on the sideline, stretch it out a little bit because of how much they've been jumping around and cutting back and forth. It's something that not a lot of teams do when you are as athletic as them, but that could come back to bite them because they haven't been hitting shots like they did last week against the Sound. So we'll see how that happens.
Yep. As we're getting set to start this second half here, Five Towns is going to get the ball. The Polish Prince, as you call them, John Philippe Jagelski, set to inbound to Damani Merritt, who had a slow first half. Looking to bounce back this second half. Over to Tyler Bond. Bond, who had a pretty good first half. To Paul Exel, who nailed the three-pointer in the first half. Tyler Bond up with the floater, couldn't get the bounce.
You know, something that I've been noticing is that since last week, the Vikings have been putting a lot more pressure on Damani Merritt because, you know, he did have that 28-point game against them last week.
Yep. As Shepard, the main man for the Vikings in the first half. Over to Green, who throws it over to Bragg. Gives it back to Shepard. To Green, cuts in the paint, throws it in the corner. Who slings the pass over to Radford, back to Green. Radford being hassled in the paint as Shepard is forced to shoot that three-point shot, and it's off. Jagelski with the rebound, over to Bond. Slowing the tempo here a little bit for Five Towns. As Bond over to Allen, and Allen back to Bond. Now screen being set, just solo ball movement. As Bond gets past his man, hits a little step back, no good. Green with the board. As Bragg, open but didn't want to shoot it. Shepard also open, but decides not to swing it. As Bragg cuts in, forced to stop. And Green with the open mid-range shot is off. Tyler Bond secures the rebound. Tyler Bond over to Paul Allen. Back to Bond. To Damani Merritt. Scrolling all the way around to Paul Allen, who cuts into the paint and goes up with a layup, and it's off. Paul Allen fighting for the rebound.
Oh, wow, they called that a jump ball?
Jump ball.
I thought that was going to be called a foul.
Yeah.
Paul Allen just seemed to be all over Nolan Shepard.
I saw a lot of contact. I saw him hit his elbow a couple times, but Villa Maria still gets the ball regardless. Just no foul for Paul Allen.
Lucky break there.
Yeah. As Rudy Bragg, who's been calling the shots, calling the plays all night long. Over to Jane Green. The play seems to have always is Bragg to Green when they're both on the floor. As Bragg shoots but can't quite connect, fight for the rebound, Shepard secures it. As Bragg, top of the elbow, over to Shepard, who's at the other end, who can't quite make it, but a strong rebound by Villa Maria's number 12 to Ron Benton, and he gets fouled. He's going to the line.
Those two offensive rebounds for the Vikings put them at a total of 24 rebounds, matching the Sound with their 24 rebounds.
Yeah, the physicality that this Villa Maria team has had is been pretty significant, and the impact of the game and how they have an 8-point lead now with 17:36 remaining in this second half of the semifinal game for the HVIAC Championship. As Tyler Bond gets fouled by Shepard. If you're going to get fouled by anyone, you want it to be Shepard. You want to get the best player off the court.
That's going to be his second foul of the game, so they still got a long ways to go if they want to try and get him to sit down, but it's definitely a start.
Yep. That's Robert Williams to Merritt, who's had a slow game. To Bond, to Paul Allen, who cuts into the paint.
They're going to call that a travel.
It travels. Slow start here for the Sound.
Yeah, definitely not the start that they wanted, but it's not the worst that could happen.
Definitely. As Bragg bringing the ball up. Off the screen from Shepard. Had another screen at the other end from Green. And he threw up a lob, but it actually almost went in.
That would have been
Yeah.
weird.
As Tyler Bond just runs into traffic and loses the ball. But Damani Merritt right there, as Brad couldn't quite secure the ball in the beginning, as Green in the corner. Over to Bragg. Off the screen from Shepard. Into the corner. Back to Bragg. To Green, who fakes. And number 15.
That was a nice little shovel pass from Green to Radford for the easy bucket.
Yep, for the easy slam and jam. It's Tyler Bond. Again gets fouled by Shepard.
Tyler Bond's doing a great job to draw that contact into him while he's driving to get the fouls. And that's going to be the second on Nolan Shepard.
Yep, as there's a timeout being called. 11-point lead for the Vikings.
Yeah, definitely not the way that the Sound wanted to come out, but the good news about it is it hasn't been turnovers that have been causing the lead to grow. They just aren't scoring on their offensive opportunities, and they're lacking a little bit on their defensive opportunities, because right here you have to stay on your feet if you're Robert Williams. You can't get pump faked out, because then it's an easy layup for somebody who's right behind you.
Yeah, Radford there, whose presence has been felt in the game, but it might not be shown statistically. As going set to go back into the action here, with Paul Allen inbounding the ball. The full court press not being as intense as it was in the last half. Tyler Bond passes the half-court line. Off the screen from Jagelski, back to Monty Merritt, who needs to get it going. He 5 times wants to secure this victory. Back to Merritt. Merritt, who drives in, who can't really find an opening. Back to Bond. Over to Jagelski, who's wide open for 3, and it's good!
Ooh.
33-25 off of the Polish Prince.
Who said big man can't shoot?
Yeah. Gotta be feeling good after that one. These two big men for 5 towns have definitely been doing their all for this game. Both Paul Allen and Jagelski.
And Robert Williams.
And Robert Williams too. As Villa Maria misses and 5 towns secures the rebound. Paul Allen gets a tough board there.
Yeah, definitely a little scrap right there.
Yeah. Well, things sometimes get scrappy. As Damani Merritt gets stripped by Shepard. Damani Merritt, it's just not one of those nights for him. And going for the dunk, he misses the dunk. Shepard misses it, but Bragg is right there to clean it up. As Tyler Bond just picks up, gets him fouled once again.
You know, Bragg is a little quiet today. He's usually one of their main scorers, but he only has 4 points so far.
Yeah, they've been pounding on him a lot. The only person who can really get things going so far has been Shepard. But let's talk about Tyler Bond, how good he is at not going out of bounds, because he's right there at the line every single time and just draws a foul. As there's another call on the floor. And
I think they just gave him a warning.
Oh, yeah.
He's not in his coach's box, I guess.
Yeah.
And now he's laughing
Well, that's got to
about
be a
it.
first, because he's usually never in his spot. But Tyler Bond, off the Jagelski screen, cuts in, and he gets swatted by Green. As DeMario James coming in, guarded by Bond. To Jaden Green. And it's thrown back to James. Back to Bragg. And good block by Robert Williams. It's going the other way. Robert Williams with a huge defensive play there.
That was great defensive rotation by the Sound. The Viking gets past one defender, and then Robert Williams is there for the jump ball.
That's Tyler Bond.
Like, look at this rotation. Paul Allen gets stuck behind the number 4, Jariah Williams, but Robert Williams was there to help.
That's Jagelski, top of the key. Damani Merritt looking to make some noise here. Gets his move, cuts over, gives it to Paul Allen. Paul Allen. Jagelski, back to Merritt. And he bounced the ball and tipped it over. That's a travel.
That was an interesting possession for the Sound.
They cannot get it going for Damani Merritt.
That's turnover number 18 for the Sound, which led to 15 points off of turnovers for the Vikings.
And now,
like I just said, Five Towns has 18 turnovers. Villa Maria has 11. Those points off the turnovers, like I said, 15 for the Vikings and only 6 from the Sound.
as Five Towns is now down by 10. Paul Allen with the rebound off the three-point miss from James. Ian Williams, who made some noise earlier in the game, slings it to the corner. For the three, it's good!
Oh
John
goodness.
Jagelski, another three.
He is 2 for 2 from behind the arc. Like I said before, who said big men can't shoot?
Looking fantastic out there as they shoot a contested mid-range shot over 2 people. Jaden Green just gets that to fall. It's a 7-point game. Tyler Bond been leading the charge so far all night. Paul Allen to Ian Williams, who's wide open, doesn't take the shot, he fakes it. Over to Merritt, who takes the floater and gets absolutely rejected by Master Radford.
Yeah, one thing the Sound have to do, honestly, probably jump stop, pump fake, get those big guys off their feet because they are going to jump almost every single time to block it.
Yeah, Radford and Jagelski, who's just been playing out of his mind right now from behind the arc. And Paul Allen, who shoots the contested three, and it's off. But Ian Williams secures the rebound. Back to Bond. Swings it to the corner to Monty Merritt, who launches up the midi, and it's off. Monty Merritt cannot get things going right now.
Yeah, 1 for 8 from the field. Not something that you want to see if you're the Sound, but his teammates have definitely been picking up slack for him, and it seems to be okay right now. Hopefully they can get things going.
That should have been called a travel there, but it's going the other way. Quick question, did Monty Merritt change his shoes?
I think he did. But like I said, his teammates have been picking up the slack. Ian Williams draws 3 defenders into the paint, and Jagelski hits the 3 from the corner. There's not much else you can do. That was just perfect execution by the Sound.
As Ian Williams.
And here's the hot or cold 3-point percentage. Five Towns is at 60% from behind the arc, and Villa Maria is only at 11.8, which is a very big change from last game.
As Ian Williams misses that, but grabs the rebound and throws it over to Tyler Bond, almost intercepted. Tyler Bond with the mid-range jumper, it's good. 37-30, it's a 7-point game. Five Towns has been down by as much as 11, now down by 7. As James looking to counter. Slings the pass over, and it's good.
Yeah, you can't let that happen. Like I said, you have to play defense on every possession, and you can't slip up like that. They've ran that play at least 2 or 3 times, and the Sound have been caught.
As Jagelski misses his first 3 off his 3rd attempt of the night. And here's Bragg getting double teamed. Green shoots the mid-range shot, and it's good. Villa Maria lead back to 11. And they seem to have answered back quickly for a run of their own, 4-0 run. As Ian Williams to Damani Merritt, to Tyler Bond. Back to Ian, who's being guarded by the lengthy Master Radford. And Ian is fouled.
They're gonna call that one on the ground on number 15, Master Radford. That's only his first, and it was the team's fifth, and he does get substituted out.
As they bring in Devontae Gwynn. Ian Williams, over to Tyler Bond, who gets past, over to Paul Allen, who's open, didn't shoot it. Over to Ian. Ian Williams off the Jagelski screen. Very interesting, Jagelski screen starting from his backside. As Tyler Bond goes up, and it's good.
Oh my goodness, Tyler Bond now has 11 points 10 points for the Sound. He's doing everything that he can.
Back to Bragg. He goes back door, throws it over, number 4, and it's off. Good defense by Paul Allen there. As Tyler Bond looking to run the break. He was looking to pass it to Damani, who was open, but couldn't quite get it to go. As Jagelski looking to make his move, back to Bond. Tyler Bond Guarded by James. Over to Damani. Damani travels. Damani just can't get anything to go for him right now.
Number 22, Nolan Shepard has
As
for the Vikings.
turn it over, and 5 Towns calls a timeout. Looking to talk things over. Down by 9, 10:41 remaining. There's still a lot of time left in this clock. What does 5 Towns need to do to catch up, Sydney?
Right now, in the beginning of this second half, they seem to have lost that swarming defense that they had in the first half. So I would like to see them get back to that, because they've let a few go that weren't that great. But on the offensive side, Tyler Bond, he has such a quick first step. He can get past that first defender, and he has great moves to get past the second one and create an open shot for him. Like, I mean, he goes through 3 people to get his teammates for an open shot.
Yeah, he's somebody that Villa Maria needs to keep an eye out on if they want to contain any kind of runs coming from 5 Towns. What about the other end, though? Who is Villa Maria's target? Who is Villa Maria's player that you're keeping an eye out on?
I mean, obviously, right now you have Nolan Shepard, but who has come up for the Viking? Jaden Green also has 10 points. Most of his points coming from the second half. So they've kind of focused on Nolan Shepard this sound half, and they've been letting Jaden Green get open shots, and he's been hitting them so far.
Yep. Got to guard out that perimeter a little bit better. Stay in the paint. And just play great defense overall. As the Vikings, starting again with Bragg. Top of the key. With Shepard. Swings it to the corner to James. Who Allen may jump. And Ian Williams with the steal. As 5 Towns starts to run the break, Ian Williams up with the layup, it's good. 7-point game again.
Up and under. He knew Nolan Shepard was going to jump. He took the ball, pulled it under, went right underneath his arms.
After a 4-0 run from 5 Towns, the Vikings responded with a 4-0 run of their own. And now 5 Towns back on their own 4-0 run with the rebound by Robert Williams, who gets stripped, but he gets hacked. James gets hacked by Robert Williams.
I don't know. That looked like a little bit of a foul on the rebound and over the back from the Vikings, but once again, it's not my call.
It seems like a bit of a frustration there from Robert Williams, who thought he secured the rebound and it just got poked away. As James looks to shoot 2 here.
Yeah, DeMario James just kind of Jose Alvarado'd him and just came from behind and sneak attacked him.
And anybody in the NBA could tell you that they hate that.
Here's that replay for us. Like, Robert Williams thought he had the ball, but like I said, snuck right behind him. There was no communication about that he was behind him, and it just kind of turned into a foul, which from that replay didn't really look like that much of a foul. It looked like he got all ball.
Yep. As Paul Allen looks to inbound the ball. Tyler Bond. The full court press is back. They do not want 5 Towns to make a run here and catch up. As 5 Towns almost turns it over, but instead leaves a lot of space open for Paul Allen in the corner, who knocks down the 3. Bringing the lead down to 6.
Paul Allen is now 2 for 3 from behind the arc and has 8 points of himself, being the second leading scorer for this Sound team right now.
As Bragg shoots a 3 of his own. Can't quite get it to fall. Robert Williams tips it around, and it ends up back to Bragg. As James, the ball. Now, Sydney. These big men are snipers.
Yeah, that's definitely something going for the Sound here. Being able to have their big guys come out to the perimeter to try and drag the other big men from the Vikings outside so they can get inside.
As James shoots a last-second heave to the basket, and it makes it. Bringing their lead back up to 9. But 5 Towns has the effort. They have the passion. They're looking to make their run continue here. Over to Williams. Williams, who cuts in. Over to Jagelski, who gets fouled. And one potential 3-point play for John Philippe Jagelski.
That was a great look by Ian Williams to get that bounce pass right underneath the arm of the Vikings defender to get it to Jagelski, who just bulldozed his way through and got the and one play. Now we get to see the Jagelski jiggle.
The Jagelski jiggle. You know, Jagelski seems to be the only one that's not wearing brightly colored shoes on the floor.
Yeah, he doesn't like those bright colors.
Yeah,
he's had those old shoes for a while
Yeah,
now.
he doesn't want to match with the rest of the team, with the little vibe, the rainbow vibe they have going on here. As Jagelski set to shoot his first. It's up. And no lucky bounce.
Rare miss from him tonight. He's 3 for 4 from the field, 2 for 3 from behind the arc, and now 0 for 1 from the line. Has 8 points of his own.
It's now a 7-point game. Five Towns has all the utilities to make a comeback. They just need to enforce it. As Tyler Bond strips the ball away for a second, but steps out of bounds.
No, I think they called a foul on Tyler Bond.
A foul on Tyler Bond.
That,
Bit of a questionable call there.
yeah.
As Teron Benton.
Luckily, that's
Over
only
to
his
James.
first of the game, though,
Yep.
so.
Back to Benton in the corner. Over to James, guarded by Williams. To Shepard, the man that's been dominating the game for the most part, as Shepard makes that bucket there. 9-point game. Ian Williams, crossover. Over James, taking it all the way. Jagelski gives it to him, gets fouled. Another and one by John-Philippe Jagelski. Man cannot be stopped right now.
He really is the Polish prince, or might I add, he might be the king right now. Oh my God, look at this pass once again from Ian Williams, just being able to take the contact from the defender. Oh my goodness.
Very exceptional play here from Jagelski.
And it looks like we have a technical foul on the Vikings, and Paul
Oh,
Allen
my.
is gonna shoot 2 for the Sound.
That's not the smartest move.
And that's foul number 4 on Jariah Williams.
All right, this is not the smartest move by the Vikings. The frustration might be getting to them here.
Ooh, and the first one is missed by
That's
Paul Allen.
the second missed free throw in the last minute. 2 easy points there that would have brought it down to 5.
But I've added once before earlier in the day, technical fouls can be such a momentum spark for the team shooting it, because they do get 2 free baskets and then they do get the ball back, but also Jagelski gets to shoot his foul shot.
Yep, he still gets it. 48-42. Jagelski makes this. It's a 5-point game. All right, the jiggle. The bounce. The silence. It's up. And good. 5-point game.
There we go, 50% from
Five.
the line for Jagelski so far tonight.
5 times after being in an 11-point hole, have dug themselves out and brought it down to 5. And the ball's going the other way.
Oh, no. Oh my goodness, was that an offensive foul? Oh my goodness, it was.
As Paul Allen getting set to inbound over here. And here comes the press.
It is
Ian
getting
Williams with the ball.
so rowdy in here. I can barely hear you, Jose.
Ian Williams, the ball. Rizal telling him to space out the floor. As Ian Williams cuts in, throws it over to Williams. Williams goes up, and it's off. Almost grabs his own rebound, but it's a jump ball. So it is going
To the
the other way.
Vikings.
Valiant effort. Robert Williams had an open attempt there. He just couldn't get it to go in.
Yeah, I think he got a little excited there. Didn't think he would be that wide open.
Yeah. That's always a part of the intimidation factor when it comes to basketball. You never know when someone's just going to fly in.
And we got a time out from the Vikings. They definitely need to take that if they want to stay ahead in this game.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my goodness, here we go from, oh my goodness. He just went up a little bit too hard. Like I said, definitely thought that he was gonna get hit a little bit more, and then total fouls tonight. Villa Maria has 15 fouls, 9 in this half, whereas Five Towns has 11.
Yeah, very interesting. And if you're the coach for Villa Maria, what are you telling your team right now?
Honestly, you're up right now. I honestly would probably lay back a little bit. Like I said, they have 9 fouls already. That's putting Five Towns into the bonus right now. One more foul and they're shooting 2 for the rest of the game. And it's a little under 8 minutes left in this game. Stopping that clock and letting Five Towns shoot those open shots could be a game changer today, because they've only shot 5 so far, but they are 3 of 5.
Yeah, they're definitely elite downtown right now. And they need to keep it going if they want to come back and potentially take a lead.
Yes, this is going to be an interesting 7:46.
It is. It's exciting. This is the playoff atmosphere you like to see.
Especially being in your home gym for the Sound. It's great to see that so many people showed out today and are cheering them on to try and get them into the next round.
Yep, as Villa Maria with James. Getting down the ball. The loud crowd showing their support for the Sound and making some noise. As goes up with the mid-range shot, and it's off. But Villa Maria gets the rebound, and James goes up with the three-pointer, and it's in.
Yeah, quiet first half from DeMario James, but he has exploded and has 8 points in this half so far.
As Jagelski, top of the paint, top of the arc, over to Bond. Bond over to Paul Allen. Paul Allen shoots the mid-range shot. It's good. A little bit of taunting that we saw there between James and Ian Williams.
Yeah, I mean, a player like Ian Williams is going to get into those scraps, and he can talk the talk because he has the ability to show it.
Yep. As Villa Maria misses and Five Town secures the rebound, looking to cut it down to 4 or 3. Tyler Bond off the Jagelski screen, over to Williams. Another Jagelski screen, and it's a moving screen violation. It's going the other way.
That's going to be his 3rd foul of the game. A little questionable because I thought his feet were set, but like we've been saying all day, it's not our call.
If it were up to us, Five Towns would probably be up by 50. As James, off the Shepherd screen, over to Green. Well, he shuffled his feet a bit there. Green up with the mid-range shot, and it's off. Paul Allen soars in for the rebound there. Tyler Bond off the Jagelski screen. That one was clean. Ian Williams into the paint with the floater. It's good. A lot of contact there. You could argue a foul, but it doesn't matter because it's a 4-point game. As DeMario James over to Green. To Shepherd, who got stripped. Robert Williams over to Ian Williams, who drives into the paint, shoots from the free throw line, can't quite get it to fall. You like the effort, you like the intensity that Five Towns has been bringing.
Yeah, I do like the fast pace, and
It's an offensive foul.
I do like the fast pace coming from the Sound, not letting the Vikings set up and having their big presence in the paint, getting Ian and Tyler into fast break points.
Ian Williams.
Ian Williams is doing everything he can, putting his body on the line and taking that charge to get the Sound another offensive opportunity.
All right, Tyler Bond. He's been making some noise. As Ian Williams off the Jagelski screen. Ian Williams over to Damani Merritt, and it's going the other way. After drawing the offensive foul, Ian Williams commits his own.
You know, one thing I've noticed about Ian Williams throughout this season, being up here and commentating these games, is most of his fouls come off of offensive fouls. Most of them are charged because he likes to drive to the basket.
As Rudy Bragg over to James, over to Green. Back to Bragg, who's shooting the 3, and it's off. As Jagelski to Merritt, to Bond. And off the Jagelski screen, no Jagelski screen, to Damani Merritt, that time off the Jagelski screen. Throw it in the corner to Williams, into the paint, and
Foul
he gets
on
fouled.
the floor. That's going to be on number 15, Master Radford. That is his 3rd foul. There's still a little under 5 minutes left in this game, so he's not super in trouble, but you still want to watch out for that, especially because the Vikings now have 10 team fouls, so every foul from here on out will be 2 shots.
He may not be in trouble, Sydney, but the Vikings certainly are if Ian Williams makes these 2 free throws. First one's up. It's good.
Ian Williams, one of the best foul shot shooters, so the Sound are very happy. Oh my goodness, he just pushed him out of bounds. I mean, he's definitely taking his size and using it to his advantage.
As he's up with the second, and it's good. It is a 2-point game on the semifinal in the HVIAC championship tournament. The intensity is there, the playoff atmosphere is here.
This is getting so nerve-wracking, I'm shaking.
I have to stand up. As Bragg over to Green. Back to Bragg into the corner to James, who shoots a three. And doesn't make it that time. Damani Merritt. To Bond. Damani Merritt, who has a slow night. Tyler Bond. Over to Paul Allen, who shoots the three. Wet like water! As Five Towns takes the lead.
Oh my goodness, Paul Allen is cheesing down the floor after he made that basket. He knew exactly what he did.
Yep, as James looks to answer back. To Green, to Bragg. Bragg over to James. James being harassed in the paint, can't quite get it, as Bragg shoots the three, and that one is also wet like water. You know, it's very disheartening when you take the lead like that, and then all of a sudden, they hit you right back.
Yeah,
but it's a 2-point game.
The game is still in reach for Five Towns. It's only 2-point deficit. 3.5 minutes left to go. It is getting very intense in here, and Coach Drizel knows that he's gonna put Ian Williams back in.
Bit of contact
Oh my goodness, and that's gonna be 4 on Yagelski.
Yeah, Yagelski getting a little bit frustrated, a little bit tense there. As Paul Allen got his 3-point attempt denied. Now Shepard set to inbound. Robert Williams taken out.
Yagelski in a little bit of trouble here. 4 fouls on him. Once again, there's 3 minutes left in this game. That is a lot of time. Hopefully he doesn't get that last one because he is doing amazing inside the paint for the Sound.
And they're keeping it in and couldn't get it to fall. Villa Maria, they tried to scoop it up afterwards, but Damari Merritt over to Ian Williams. Williams in the corner. Back to Tyler Bond. The isolation off the Jagelski screen. And it's Drizel's just telling everyone to get spaced out. To Jagelski, who's open, has it alone, and one potential 3-point play for John Philippe Jagelski.
That is the 3rd and 1 for him today, and he has been capitalizing on the line, getting the time to stop, and being able to also try and get his team ahead. I mean, the isolation play from Coach Drizel to get Tyler Bond that one step ahead and just shoveling off to Yagelski behind the defense. And there's that jiggle. Oh my gosh, this is getting me. Oh my goodness.
Up. The energy is there. The feels are all there. First one's up and good. It's Five Town takes another lead. The back and forth with this lead. It started off crazy in the beginning, Sydney. And then over time, Villa Maria started to build up a bit of a lead. They were up by 11 at one point. And now Five Towns is taking a 1-point lead once again.
Oh my goodness.
And once again, Villa Maria answers with a 3 by number 23, Bryant Rose. As Tyler Bond needs to call, Coach Greg Drizel needs to call a timeout after that one. They just keep allowing these open threes to get in after taking the lead, and they're suffering off of it. Now, if you're the Sound, who do you have to deny, Sydney?
I mean, at this point, it has been DeMario James this half has actually brought his team. He had 8 unanswered points in this half. I mean, he has been doing a great job. They've shut down Nolan Shepard a little bit because he did have 10 at the half. He's got 12 now, but here is the 3-point attempt from Bryant Rosa. He's just answering right back from the 3-point play from Yagelski. And there's a 3-point play from Paul Allen, who is leading scorer with Yagelski tonight, both at 14 points. Oh my goodness, this is getting intense.
As we have the girl doing a little dance party, celebrating for her team. She's definitely having a good time.
So cute.
And we're getting set to get back into this last 2:22 remaining of this riveting HVIAC championship semifinal.
I'm I'm getting so tense, I am almost at a loss for words.
It's set to be a good one. Jelski over to Tyler Bond. Bond, top of the key. Into the paint. Over to Merritt. Over to Williams, who slips. Gives it to Jagelski, the Polish Prince. What a move! Couldn't quite get it to finish. As Ian Williams steps out, tries to go in. Polish Prince back at it, and he gets fouled.
That's going to be on the floor, though. But they are in the bonus, so he should be shooting 2 anyways.
Number 1, Rudy Bragg, that is his first.
Very interesting, Sydney.
That is insane. That is only foul number 1 on Rudy Bragg, and there's only 2 minutes left in this game. That is insane to only have 1 foul in a game.
Jagelski at one point made an incredible move that had the crowd, not only the crowd screaming, the control room was screaming as well.
He almost had me standing up.
I've been standing up for this entire second half. It's Jagelski,
Goodness.
the jiggle, the dribble, and it's up, and good.
Here we go. Here's that 1 foul on Ian Williams. Just loses the ball, but Bragg comes from behind. Jagelski pushes him a little bit and gets that foul.
As Jagelski getting set to shoot his second. He has been the man of the half so far.
Total fouls here. Villa Maria at 19 and 5 Towns at 14. This has definitely been in the Sound's favor. Excuse me. I'm so nervous. I just can't speak. But definitely in favor of the Sound because I mean, other than that, they do get the clock to stop every time that they get fouled, get to the line, and are able to tie this game up.
This Villa Maria team is cold-blooded. They seem to be making their shots more now under pressure than they were before. As Bragg gets the block on the 3-point attempt. Ian Williams almost gets a steal there. Ball bounced around, back to Green. Back to Bragg. Tight defense by 5 Towns.
Yeah, with just over a minute left, you have to have that defense. Oh, that is a dagger.
A 3 right there.
That is a dagger in the hearts of 5 Towns players and their fans.
As 5 Towns needs to push the pace, and they can't quite get it. Robert Williams up, and it's good. 3-point game, 1:05 remaining.
Oh my
The
goodness.
Vikings just can't miss right now.
No, and that's very unfortunate for the Sound because they have made a miraculous comeback into this game, being down, 13 points at one point. Now only down, oh my goodness, down by 3. 1:05 left. It's just a dagger to see this happen, but it's just oh my goodness, heartbreaking to see those shots go in at the end of this game when 5 Towns ties the game up. You just really wish that they could get a stop. Like I said, just a dagger in the heart for them.
Yeah, every time 5 Towns seems to be squeezing out maybe a lead, a tie, Villa Maria, the Vikings, are just right there to counter them and to come back, score on them, and seemingly from anywhere.
Yeah, right now, the Sound kind of have, I mean, yes, they are down 3. Oh my goodness, she's back again.
She's into it. She's having the time of her life.
She has no clue what's going on,
Yeah.
but she loves it.
She's hitting the stanky leg.
But as I was saying, yes, they are down 3, but the Sound have to focus on their defensive possessions right now because if they can get a stop, they can get the tie, get another stop, get a lead, get another stop, get a better lead if they can hit all of those shots.
Certainly. Well, that's what you hope for if you're a 5 Towns Sound fan. As the crowd here, eyes glued onto the moment that could possibly happen. A 3 to tie, a 2 to cut it to 1.
My heart is beating so fast right now.
Bragg with the ball at the top of the key, off the Shepherd screen. Williams playing extremely tight defense on him. Double teams everywhere. Bragg couldn't secure it immediately. He was open if he did. As Green fouled.
That is the 17th foul, so the Vikings are going to be shooting 1-1. So if you're the Sound, you are hoping that they do miss this first one because you do not want to go down by 4 or 5 right now.
Yeah, they have to hope that both of these are off. And they have to launch a 3. Hopefully someone like Jagalski or Paul Allen gets to shoot it because they've been good from the line all night. First one's good. It's a 4-point game.
The thing about the Vikings, they have gone 100% from the line tonight. I mean, that is just incredible. That's an incredible stat, but that's something that you don't really want to see if you are Five Towns because you do have to start fouling to save time on the clock.
Yep. As Tyler Bond looking to run in to Ian Williams, back to Bond. He turns it over with 34 seconds remaining. They have to look to foul here if they want any kind of a run to go. And Ian Williams does just that.
These are going to be the first, possibly 2 attempts for Rudy Bragg. Oh, that's going to be 4 fouls on Ian Williams.
Bragg, who's been quite the spark for the Vikings here in the second half. Struggled a bit in the first half, in the beginning of the second half too, but just towards these last couple of minutes, he hit a major 3, pull-up jumper, nails 2 free throws right now.
He's at 12 points tonight, which ties Nolan Shepard as the second leading scorer, and have Jaden Green at 14 points for the Vikings.
And Damani Merritt, who just couldn't get it going tonight, had a bad game.
It happens, but it's very hard to see when we all know Damani Merritt is a senior, and 17 seconds left. It could be the last time that he is on the Five Towns court.
Yeah, it's really heartbreaking if you are a fan of Five Towns. Shepard makes his first. Getting set to shoot the second here, as the fans are already leaving the stands. Misses the second. The first missed for Villa Marie, but they get their own rebound. And
It's actually insane that it took 13 attempts to miss at the line for the Vikings.
And there are so many times where Five Towns could have shut it down or maybe even taken a lead with free throws, and they just couldn't quite nail it.
You know, another pretty amazing stat for the Sound, they only missed 2 free throws, so there wasn't much else. All they had to do was just hope that the Vikings missed at least a few of them.
As Tyler Bond goes up with the contested mid-range, and it's off.
And that is going to be
do it
the game
for
here.
the game, 69 to 59. That ends in a heartbreaking, soul-crushing defeat. Ends the Five Towns Sound season. Of incredible performances by John-Philippe Jagalski, Robert Williams, and Tyler Bond. Wasn't enough to stop Villa Maria and players like James and Bragg and Green, who were all over the place, on top of Shepard, who was dominating the entire first half of the game.
Yeah, this is definitely a hard loss for the Sound, especially having the defeat that they had last week. It was by 14 points. This one was by 10, but this one just seemed a much closer game because the Sound battled 40 minutes. It was 40 minutes of great basketball. It just, the shots that they wanted to go in just didn't go in. And they had a few defensive lapses where they let offenders get behind them in their defensive zone and get easy buckets for the Vikings.
Yeah, throughout the entire game, it looked like Five Towns would always just outreach, but just a little bit behind. Then they fell down to 11 points and managed to fight and claw their way outside of that. But they managed to come back after that and take a 2-point lead, but just couldn't hold on to it. What are the player stats that you keep an eye on?
For the Vikings, obviously, top scorer Jaden Green, who had a phenomenal second half. He had 14 points, 2 rebounds. He went 6 for 14 from the field, and once again, 100% from the line.
What about on the other end?
On
Your
the other
Polish
end,
Prince.
the Polish Prince, Jean-Philippe Jagielski had 16 points, did everything that he could in that second half. 3 rebounds, 5 for 7 from the field, and that one miss from the line was his first free throw attempt, might I add, but he went 4 for 5 on the night.
Now, Jagielski was making massive plays down the end, and we're going to throw it down to our third member of the broadcast crew, Jeff Kramer, who's interviewing Jean-Philippe Jagielski.
Jan, obviously a tough loss for the men's sound tonight, and, an incredibly hard-fought game. What are your takeaways from the season and this game in general?
I feel like this game today, we came together as a team, and even though we came short, I think that was our best game of the season. Of course, we needed 10 more points, but I think we had a lot of up and downs throughout the season, and this game, I think it was very good, but of course we came short. We needed a couple more shots. They hit some very, very tough threes. Of course, they're shooting better than us. But I think, again, a lot of up and downs, and I'm just glad that we are able to be here, that we are able to play, because we have an amazing group of guys. My brothers, I love all of them, and I just cannot wait for the next season to prove that we can win the championship and bring it home to this arena. And again, it was a great season. I'm just a little bit upset that it ended how it ended, but we're going to be back next season, and we're going to be back stronger, and we're going to be ready.
Well, congrats on a great season, Jan, and good luck in the future.
Thank you. Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jeff. Now, Five Towns may have lost, but this isn't the last time that the crew will be broadcasting games, because tomorrow it's the HVIAC Championship Games. At 1 o'clock is the women's game against Berkeley College and Villa Maria, and then at 3 o'clock, it's the men's game against Berkeley College and Villa Maria. Thank you so much for watching, and the final score, 69-59. We'll see you guys tomorrow.